the gun again, and the back. And the gun again, and the back. There we go. Hello. Hello and welcome to the Little Ghosty Games channel, a professional streaming channel. My name is JStation64 and I will be your GM this evening as we play Jammy Dodgers and the Secrets of Scrumberry, a homebrew intro campaign for the D&D actual play of Spelljammer Adventure coming soon. I am joined, as always, by 3 deadly dragon slayers and the characters that they have chosen to play. And it's been a little while, so let's meet them and find out how they're doing. Starting off with Ghost of Sunny. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing very well, thank you. I am excited to be playing again, and also glad that RevTed reminded me to log into Roll20 before the game started.
Not sponsored.
So, not sponsored. Not that we wouldn't be open to sponsorships if Roll20 were to approach us.
They'll see this stream and they'll just snap it right. So, how is Bask feeling after previous events?
I think he's not in bad shape. He was in. I feel like there was a near-death experience
For everyone, generally.
Let me try and pull up my player character. I think we managed to. I think through the aid of his teammates, we managed to like bring him back to, if not health, not death.
Because
let me see if I can.
Everybody has leveled up. Thank you. Okay, once again, Roll20. Everyone's character's been put back to full health, so I'm not going to bother trying to fix that. So what has Bask gotten in their level up? I guess is anything exciting? Any highlights? It's all mysterious.
They got the most exciting thing, which is this sheet of paper that tells them everything that they can do.
Wait, a sheet of paper?
It's not a core feature of Roll20, but it is there as an optional extra as needed. So I feel like I got some more spells. I have not changed up my core spell of Entangle, which it's just the MVP of spells.
Much.
And have got fog cloud as an additional option.
Nice.
So I can lean into my.
Bask got buff now, right? Bask's got tough boy cat.
He is he's been toughened. He is currently at 36 hit points. Armor class 16. He's what?
36. He's the buffest of boys.
He's a big boy. I think it's because he fluffs out and then people aren't sure where they're hitting. So it's kind of a distraction technique. I should say as well, Bask is a Tabaxi Ranger. It's probably also important context for the game in this actual play podcast.
Well, we have also been joined by the dragon-riding smaller dragon, Amadan. How are you doing?
My lovers. I'm doing okay, thank you. I'm playing a kobold, the tiniest of dragons, dragon wannabes. Poor little Jump, our friendly sorcerer. Jump's just helped kill a dragon. In fact, Jump rode a dragon, stabbed her spear into the back of its neck, and hung on for dear life. Which is insane.
It's what spellcasters do.
Yeah, absolutely. John has never been told what a spellcaster should actually do. I suspect that their god will probably give them an earful at some point. Jump is even more charismatic than before, being a sorcerer. There's just something about her that just twinkles friendly.
She got a bit more game now. She's got this story in her back pocket of. Well, did I tell you about that time that I slayed a dragon?
Absolutely, I've got so many stories. Most of them true. But the spell, I'm not telling you what spell. Jump had this idea as she was riding the dragon as it was plummeting down into the depths of the ocean, and the spell just. Oh, it would be great if I could do that, and of course she can do that now, but it's too damn late. So yeah, I'm keeping it as a surprise until we really need it.
I trust we will find time for that to come in again. And
Very
speaking
likely.
of Dragon Riders, we're also joined, of course, by RevTed. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, yes, not bad. Not bad myself. I play Rusty, a monk human. I was just waiting for the phone to look so I could bring it up, so you could bring it up and look. Yeah. I play Rusty, who's a human monk with a blue cape.
Human looks like it.
Yeah. He looks human from a distance. But Rusty is very glad that he didn't go splat on the ocean floor. And yeah.
You guys went splash.
Yeah.
Did Rusty get anything special from their level up?
Yes, I got Misty Step,
Classic.
and Bless. Although it says part of the things of Bless is it says about holy water, but I can't imagine Rusty's the kind of person that would carry any holy water around. So we're just going to say that the perspiration from his brow is
holy enough.
I feel like
Rusty sweats on you. It's a good thing.
I feel like Rusty talks such a good game that he convinced you that anything is holy water. So it's like
it's like the blokes you see down the market that could sell.
What's the difference between holy water and snake oil? Nobody knows. It's the same stuff.
It's all about belief at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, our wonderful adventurers. In fact, let's have a look at our wonderful adventurers. There they are. We will take you back to what happened in our previous adventures as we look at the previous session, which was some time ago for us in real life. It's been like, what, a couple of months maybe? At least a month since we've last played. So, a little refresher on what happened last time. So, defeated by Caustice, the black dragon who hoarded the town's Scrumberry jam, our adorable heroes rallied themselves and rushed to the aid of the Moondancer, a ship that had come to help them but was now under attack by the acid-spitting dragon. Bounding to the boat in a single jump found the Moondancer damaged and her crew injured. As the rest of the Dodgers arrived, it was clear that Caustice wasn't through with you guys yet. Wounded and tired, the Jammy Dodgers, together with the help of some exceptionally vulnerable townsfolk that they had brought along with them, managed to just about get the Moondancer's ballista working again, thanks greatly to the distraction caused by Jump and Rusty of leaping onto the back of Caustice as she dove in and out of the water, before soaring up to the sky to get rid of the pesky riders that were on her back. With Bask on the damaged ballista, the bolt missed Caustice's body, but instead ripped through her wings, sending her and the two Dodgers attached plummeting down to the ocean below. Bask quickly reached out, eyes closed, classic Bask style, with Entangle, but found that there was nowhere for the vines to grow and all was lost. Until tangles of seaweed erupted from the surface of the water in layers from the bottom of the ocean, creating a mesh that caused Caustice smash through, slowing her descent as she plunged into the ocean, joined by two little splashes. Battered and bruised, floating upon the surface, Rusty and Jump, the dragon riders, looked down to see Caustice swimming up to meet them from the depths, her jaws wide, but before she could snack down on our overboard heroes, the seaweed and crustaceans entangled her, and she sank deep, her dark green eyes descending into the depths of Del Canto's aquatic core. We them now, a few hours later, rescued, dried off, and rested. We join the Jammy Dodgers over in the cave. I got this sorted out. Let's have a little look. Yeah,
I remembered all of that as well.
None of that was news.
Always a risk. Although I would like to say, Bask is currently working against the narrative of the helpless town folk that we brought with him, because I would like to say that Mrs. Flowerpenny is probably the most competent person that he has met to date in his entire life. and regrets nothing about bringing her with them.
Well, speaking of Miss Flowerpenny, we join the Dodgers as they now, a few hours later after their rescue, rested and healed up, as they lead Captain Sartell, Raph, and Mrs. Flowerpenny back into the dragon's lair through the winding passages of Grick Hollow. As we return, we hear Raph kind of carefully watching his step say to you guys, "It smells like you're leading us into the bowels of the netherworld here. This place is horrible."
Oh, reminds me, why are we going back in here?
And Captain Sartell will very gleefully remind you, "There's going to be loot in there, surely. It's a dragon's hoard, right? Well, you slayed a dragon. We get to keep the hoard."
But what if the horde were a load of Scrumberry jam that got burned? Just
What?
saying, like, hypothetically.
I'm sure there'll be something still in there that would be of some kind of use, right? Right?
Ah, right. Yeah.
Is Peaches? Oh, what happened? Because we checked that he was alive, didn't we? Check that he was alive.
He was left in there as well, so I guess, depending on how charitable you're feeling, this return trip could also be to find him, return his unconscious body.
We're going to run in, loot him, run off.
Actually, they were a large Grick corpse, so they're worth much. It's a good eating on them.
So yeah, as you are mentioning that, you go past the large Grick body impaled on a spike, and you see Captain Sartell and the others like react surprised at this huge creature, and then realise that it's been defeated.
I'd love to say it were me that did that.
Yeah, Captain Sartell was about to ask, like, did you guys do this as well?
Nah, we just tripped over it on the way in. You know, this happened to be it's Flapjack here, did you say? Sorry.
Flapjack has been left aboard the Moon Dancer, recovering, and Deemy's there with him, keeping an eye on him. You, Mrs. Flowerpenny, Sartell, and Raph. And in answer to your question, Jump, Raph will probably say, you can get... people will buy parts of creatures if you are able to correctly extract them, if it's what you want to do.
Tentacles look right tasty. They're not gone too far off. If you put some spices on it, you'd never notice.
And are you going to investigate the
I think I
carcass
should.
of the brick?
Waste not, want not, as my mother used to say.
And yeah, as you poke the tentacles, they don't seem to be they seem very rubbery rather than muscly, if that makes sense. So they might make for some very chewy eating if they're chewy. But if you want to
flash fry for these, you have to stew them for a long time. Got you.
But if you want to do a survival check, you can see if any bits you can do to extract from the body. It's going to take a while to do. Is anybody else doing anything else in this area?
I'll just give it a quick poke.
I was going to say, can I assist?
Yeah, you can do a survival check as well if you want to. You can all do survival checks if you like.
Rusty's going to thank
Oh wow!
whoever had dark vision and helped him into the cave.
Rusty's not touching it.
I was going to say that Flapjack could carry me, but he's not there. So.
No, sadly.
And injured, God, really.
You want to get up my shoulders? You'll be 2.5 feet off the ground.
Too high.
Jump in your eager attempts to maybe with the help of Rusty, you're able to extract one of the tentacles of the Grick. And looking at it, maybe Raph will tell you if you could get a skilled leather worker to look at that, or some sort of somebody who works with this kind of thing, they might be able to make it into a like a little whip for you, but with the Grick style whip. I don't know if that's what you're into.
A Grick whip.
A Grick whip.
I was thinking of
Did you say
beaking
it was like rubbery, like hard wearing rubbery, but soft?
Well, I'm gonna poke it in front of you. Like it's kind of, yeah.
Oh, no, now bear with me. I've had an idea. Imagine if we made some kind of like lightweight shoe thing that's and it goes on your foot, and oh, we could call them grips.
But if you're able to stand softly on the ground, they might help with being unheard to help you sneak around. You could call them sneakers, maybe.
No. Like, I was thinking more along the line, like if I made it out of a crocodile, they'd be called crocs. But it's made out of a grip, so it's called gricks, isn't it? So and maybe there could be a position for like comfort, and then one for speed, so they don't fall off if they're a bit too far.
But yeah, you can decide what you want to try and make out of the grick tentacle, but it's most likely going to be some sort of like leather worker that's going to help you with that kind of thing. Bask, you were a
be
train.
stew.
You can cook it if you want to. That's
I'm
also
definitely cooking it.
absolutely available.
Doing it.
As a trained ranger, you're able to apply skills that maybe has Bass done much of this kind of stuff, or has just been trained in it, or
He's been trained. He will probably like know the theory, so he won't want to get too close to the grick himself, but will probably be like, jump. You need to go left a bit. Warmer. Okay, there. And we'll be telling.
Swipe with my cleaver.
Yeah, and then Bask will be at a safe distance away.
No problem.
Possibly with an umbrella, trying to not get grick gunk all over him. He might wonder though, being from a seafaring family, or having spent some time by the dockyard, like if these are like rubberized tentacles, like could we create some kind of buffer or some kind of life buoy? Like would they float? Some kind of like rubber ring.
you can try and throw it in the water when you get outside and find out.
I might encourage Jump to. Yeah, like a dinghy. Can we make it into a dinghy?
They're probably not big enough to make a dinghy. Maybe water wings, potentially.
Okay.
But under Bask's tutelage, you are also able to not just get the tentacles around the beak, but also the beak itself.
Brick
which
beak.
is kind of a hardened, how would you describe it? Like a hardened kind of, not a
beaky structure.
chitinous kind of, yeah, because it's, but it's big enough to, as you're looking at it, maybe as we've managed to remove it, you can see it's big enough to be maybe like a pauldron, like a shoulder pauldron, or maybe a helmet. It can be fashioned into some sort of that kind of
Grick
some
helmet.
kind of armor along those terms. If you
Like
find
Grick epaulets.
Grick epaulets, yeah, exactly.
I lift it out of the Grick corpse and I raise it triumphantly, dripping down my arms, and then I'm going to go squish.
Like behind, like the rest of the Great Court is like slowly sloughs off the rock.
I'm gonna look around at everyone majestically. What do you think? What do you think? Dripping.
It's very you.
Oh, it's quite heavy though, and a bit wobbly. I think the brain is. There's no brain, but I think there's something in there flopping about. I can feel it when I move my head. Do they have tongues?
They do.
Maybe when you clean it, it will be a more appropriate helmet. Rather than a...
Clean it. All right, take it off. Tongue stays on my head. Shake it off.
But yeah, you get the idea that if you were to fashion this into a wearable helmet, it would be quite intimidating for the wearer to have it.
May I do a quick prestidigitation?
You can do. It will still be plopped on your head though, rather than fashioned into to a helmet?
Oh no, to clean it.
Oh, okay.
Because
yeah.
I know Bask likes to be clean. Hand it over to you, spick and span. Right,
I
nice
do.
that is.
Oh, thank you.
But
Yeah.
Rusty and Bask, you could make it into like a shoulder pauldron type thing if you wanted to do that. But yeah, it definitely will fit Jump's little as a helmet, depending on what you guys want to do with it.
Okay, mechanism.
And as the rest of the former Grick beast falls to the ground, you can tell there's
With
nothing
the wet
else
squelch.
recoverable from that thing. And
Seems like such a waste of meat.
Raph and Sartell will kind of be there with their arms crossed, being like, "You guys quite finished with this disgusting business that you're doing?" Having seen Jump probably try to bite a bit of it, I guess, as well.
Quite rubbery.
Still chewing.
Yeah.
Rusty hasn't got any kind of knives, so all I've got is cheese darts. So I either use my finger or a cheese dart. So. I'd like to think that a bit of cheese is still on there, and then when he's finished, it just.
Rusty just rips parts off with his fists.
Yeah.
Like if you asked to skin a creature, just giving like fistfuls of the skin. This is useless to me. So after
the dragon,
Sartell will quite impatiently like, where's my treasure, guys? And you guys can lead them continuing up the winding cave until you enter into the open, kind of familiar, acid-splashed central air. Do you want to do some perception checks as you
peaches? Yeah.
Can we see Travis? Is that what we're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
I like the way we did all that on the way in rather than the way
out. What have we got for perception?
18?
Oh, gosh. 18?
18, and
12.
12. Excellent stuff. Looking around, there is no sign of Travis, but Jump and Rusty, your keen ears maybe still rattling from having been dashed about in the water and flown up to the skies. You hear movement somewhere in the cave, and you can all see that Travis' body is no longer there. It's been taken.
Taken as in dragged, or taken as in...
You can go and investigate if you want to.
Yeah.
Is it dark in here?
It is. There's still the glow of the acid, but it's massively fainter, and the thick mist that was flowing out of the cave was a drizzle almost as you guys were leaving. It was, the effects since the defeat of Caustice has been massively less.
Hey, Rusty,
negative
can I
effects of
borrow?
this.
Can I borrow your finger? I want to cast light on his finger again.
Oh, that took ages to come on, and when it wears up, it tingles. It feels really
See,
weird.
I can take it off whenever you want. Not your finger. I learned recently that it's not easy to bite bits of arms off.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've never tried, but you know.
No, it's more difficult than you'd think.
Yeah, yeah. Are you sure you've never eaten a human?
No, I have now. I tried with Travis. Do you remember? What colour do you want your finger?
That was really funny when you bees.
Human blood tastes salty, just like any other kind of blood, to be honest.
It's amazing what you forget in like 10 minutes.
2 months later. Yeah.
I mean, 10 minutes
warm
and
as
a
well.
quite substantial knock on the head when you fell into the water, so...
Let's make it green. You can have a green light today. I fancy green.
Goes with the rest of the
Like the dragon was, aye.
as the room glows green with Rusty's finger, you hear the noise again, the strange kind of movement that seems to be somewhere in this place. You hear pots and something kind of clattering around somewhere by the loot pile, I guess. That hoard, that's the word.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking of. But as the light illuminates, you can follow the sound of this eerie creaking noise and see stumbling towards you 3 charred, bony, acid-splashed wielding skeletons. Acid-splashed weapon-wielding skeletons in this open space walking towards you. Can
It's
all
one of them
three-
wearing a bowler hat.
You can find that out in a moment after you've all rolled
No.
your initiative.
Oh,
I'm
blimey.
pretty sure you said this is going to be a chilled out stream.
I lied so much.
You are the worst,
I
though.
don't know. How dare you?
Oopsie daisy.
8.
You're an 8.
10.
Ask is not paying attention.
Ah,
Like, he's done for the day. Like, he's not here for these skeletons.
Oh no. Why is that massively zoomed in?
Oh wow, that is a
There
bit
we go. It's like super zoomed in for some skeleton.
Wow.
quite a close
Very
crop.
large.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
they just got really close to us before we all saw them.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently so. So we've got.
Look how many neck bones it's got.
It's
Yeah, I
got
was
all
just thinking
kinds of
that.
neckbones going on.
Wow.
I still think mine's quite zoomed out. I can't see it's. Oh yeah, no, that's not normal, is it?
I don't think his adult teeth has come in either. He's a young boy.
He just stubbed his toe with the expression on his face.
Righty, there we go. So let us add in Skelly Boys.
I'm getting that thing you sometimes get with AI art, where like the more you look at it, like the weirder it is, and the more you see that's just like off.
Yeah.
Very defined cheekbones.
It does very defined cheekbones. So, as you guys step out into this open space, come out of the tunnel. To your right is the solid wall, and to your left is the open, where the space opens up. You can see the platform on which that you fought Caustice on, and on either side of the platform you can see the remains of Caustice's horde. And then making their direction towards you, the 3 of you, or the 5 of you, I guess, is this march of 3 skeletons, and they're going to come for each of you. So each one is going to come marching up to you and strike at you with their acid-encrusted weapons. So the first one is towards you, Rusty.
It's always acid.
20 to hit.
Yeah, I think so.
8 points
Yes.
of slashing damage as it comes forward and smashes down against you.
No.
And I point out that I also have advantage on initiative rolls, but I didn't check my sheet soon enough. So can I remember for next time?
Yeah, next time, that's what the sheet's for.
I was like, oh, I can check my sheet. Oh, it's already too late. This is why I have the sheets.
The next one comes stumbling along and is going to stab its weapon towards you, Bask, as it stumbles menacingly and just swipes hollow eyes with twisted blade towards you. For 9 to hit.
No.
Nope. Just gets fur as it slices along. And lastly, one of them kind of like comes towards Jump and squats down very patronizingly, and then just does a little stab forward towards Jump for a 6 to hit.
That is rude.
Is he now crouching down in front of me? That's so cool. and
Crouching down
patronising.
and clearly not very well balanced. There's nothing to its body to allow it to balance properly. So it's just kind of wobbling and trying to stab at you at squat level. But that is them done. Rusty, it is your go.
I'm going to go and try and grapple. Said Sergen as the slash comes past. I'm going to try and grab the
Nice.
arm, maybe try and beat him with it.
So a grapple is a competed strength check.
Oh, I'm allowed to pick that.
Quite loud. So grapple, let me quickly check again. I think it is a competed strength check. It's been a little while since I've done a grapple. Conditions grappled. Yes, so it's strength check versus your strength check. I think you can use athletics, so if you got it, you can use it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's
I was going to say that Rusty, even though he's not exactly Adonis status, he thinks he's got more muscles than this skeleton.
yeah, he's going to try and push against you with all of its skeletal might for 13, which is actually not that bad.
6.
Oh, did you get a 6? Oh no! And you grapple with it, and it shoves you away and starts gnashing its undeveloped jaw towards you. It's childlike jaw gnashing at you. In what might seem a cruel version of a laugh. Are you staying where you are? Are you running away? Are you doing any key point business?
How far am I away from the other?
The three of you are probably quite close together, about 15 feet apart. The three of you kind of 5 foot apart from each other. And each of these have come right up to your faces.
Yeah. I'm just looking to see if something's a bonus action or not. No, it's an action, right? Yeah.
Is that you done?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
No worries. Bask, you are up. You are faced with this skeleton swiping at you, trimming Bask's fur. The dark, smelly cave that was once housed a dragon.
Bask is not feeling the situation, so in what is probably an overreaction, but one that he is going to fully stand by, he is going to... I have an advantage on combat rolls? Is that a thing?
You do if on against anything that hasn't been, but unfortunately they've all been before you.
Been, haven't they? God damn it. I think all this sheet is going to do is make me ask loads of questions about things that I actually still cannot use, but that's fine. So, yeah, going with his overreaction, I'm going to heavy crossbow one of these skeletons. Probably the one that is being quite patronising towards Jump.
Not the one in front of you, the one in front of Jump?
Yeah, no, right between the eyes.
Excellent stuff. So normally firing a ranged weapon in point-blank range combat would get an attack from these creatures. But Bask is well trained in close ranged combat, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, go for it. Do your attack on the Skelly boy
with my heavy crossbow.
Yes. And
I believe I have swarm damage as well.
You do if you're using your swarm.
So I am because I can. If there's another dragon in here, though, Jay, I will kill you.
Oh, hello.
Whoa. Wow.
How did that go?
Crikey.
I think I might have hit.
What did you get?
So 25 plus 2.
25 being a natural 20.
Yeah, and then damage swarm is 5 plus 8, and then piercing is 6 plus
It's doubled
9.
all the damage, so that's 13, 21,
Yeah.
was it 28 damage, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
What does it look like as you shatter this skeleton to pieces with your crossbow?
It looks like Bass just kind of rolls his eyes, and then it's so quick, you almost can't see the skeleton. It's just there, kind of crouched down, and then it's gone.
Just the dust shape of where the skeleton was.
Just a little tinkle of bones hitting the ground.
Well, I guess because you got your swarm as well, so you just see the swarm you see piranhas in cartoons where they just zzz. The skeleton.
And
it's just dust.
It's just dust. But what I'm gonna try and do is because I can still control this combat if you'll let me, is I will call them back to hover threateningly around the dude that is standing in front of me.
Yeah, we call your swarm, and if this had any kind of anything under the hood, essentially. It might be afraid of having seen what's just happened to its ally, but it's a mindless being and only wants to thrash you. Is that you done?
Wow.
I think so.
Excellent stuff. Breathing in the dust of your once patronising foe jump. It's your go.
Get out the bone dust from my eyes. Where? What? I was preparing to headbutt the thing
Okay.
for being so patronising, but now change my target. No melee. I'm gonna go into melee. I'm going to head down, race towards the skeleton that's threatening Bask, and
It's right next
knock
to you,
it
so, yeah,
over. Oh yeah, I'm
Nice.
gonna knock it over prone.
Excellent. Are you doing is it a
plus-
shove maneuver?
Plus athletics, yeah.
Ooh, there we go. So it's going to do its strength
Give it-
check.
Let's give it a jolly
Skeleton's
good.
got a 15. These guys are
Oh
doing pretty
no,
good on their,
that's quite a lot.
yeah.
I've got a 75% chance of doing it. Done
Ooh.
it. 18.
18 as Bask and Jump change targets. Jump's turning to dust and Bask's slamming into the ground as a little tiny kobold leaps, and you hear like basically what the sound of like a xylophone. Like, the skeleton slowly clunks to the ground, and yeah, you've knocked
No
it.
one
You've knocked it down.
patronises me.
Is that you done, Jump?
That is literally my action. Yeah, I'm gonna stop moving out of range of an attack by it though. If I
Cool.
could, I don't want to be next to it.
Yes. the arrogance is there, but not enough to be standing over it.
No.
Well, there are two Skelleboys left. One of them is going to strike back at Rusty, who it managed to push you away, right? So it's gonna
Yeah.
just mindlessly try and just swipe at you one more time. There's no finesse. There's no clever retort. It just stares at you with its hollow eyes and swipes again. For 15 to hit.
No, 17.
Oh, phew.
Oh, nice. Is that a dodge from Rusty, or is it like a parry? Well, you haven't got any weapons, have you? I guess so. the cheese thing.
I like to feel that as he comes in for a swiping blow, that Rusty just grabs his arm and sort of just pulls him into like an embrace, like a maybe preparing to do maybe a bit of rumba or the waltz or something.
You see, like one side is like Rusty's warm face being like with the embrace, and you cut to the other side, you're just like nyah, 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 like a skeleton just like gnashing away. But yeah, you definitely avoid that. And it's going to try, and the one on the ground, the one that Rusty's knocked down, is still in front of Bask. It's going to try and swipe at it, but it's on the ground. So it's going to have disadvantage at its attack to try and swipe at you, as it mindlessly just kind of like reels its arm out into the air to try and swipe at the cat boy. For 13 to hit.
I don't think that hits.
The one was a crit, which is a shame on the disadvantage. And that is their turn, as they have tried their best to beat the Dodgers. But Rusty, it is your go. You are embracing the skeleton. It's Rumble time.
As Rusty did this, he had his mouth open, and then got a mouthful of bone dust.
Oh,
Unfortunately, he was just about to cast Misty Step. So I'd like to think that as he was going to cast Misty Step, but then got a mouthful of bone, that maybe he might not go in the direction he planned.
As these things often go, the way these things often go.
So yeah, Rusty's going to cast Misty Step, but he's not going to end up, I feel, where maybe obviously with a bit of he pronounced the last letter wrong and
Misty Step, is that an action or a bonus action?
a bonus action.
Cool. Do you want to do your action before you Misty Step or afterwards?
I am. Rusty's plan was to try and Misty Step away with the skeleton. It's very new to Rusty. He's never used it.
Unfortunately, Misty Step, you can't take anything with you other than what you're wearing. And as close as this embrace is, it doesn't count as wearing, I'm afraid.
So Rusty's going to try and get just sort of as far away as he can. But a random direction, I feel, because of the mouthful of things. He's going to leave the skeleton with a sense of bond and love, but as he can't take the actual skeleton with him.
And Bask and Jump, you'll see like the skeleton maybe like lose balance suddenly as there's no weight against there. As Rusty, what does your Misty Step look like? Is it like a confetti explosion? Is it silent whip?
I like to think it's like, you know, like when you see a bloom pop in slow motion that's like full of water and it just goes. It's just yeah. It's a puddle exploding. There we go. It's a puddle exploding. So 1 second there's a rusty shape, then there's a slightly watery rusty shape that flies off somewhere.
And somehow the reverse of that happens somewhere, like just on the other bit of the cave. Like the light suddenly appears somewhere else in the cave. What is it? 20 foot away, 30 foot away, something like that.
30 foot, yeah.
30 foot away.
But as I say, feel free to choose a direction because mouthful of bone.
So yeah, you probably appear like on the platform in the middle of the of this area where Caustice kind of stood over you and was about to devour you all. You can still see your green light of your finger illuminates like the drool marks, acid drool on the floor. And the 30 foot away. Go on, sorry.
But Bask, I had my mouth open when you did a bit of warning.
And Bask, it is your go. You've got an unbalanced skeleton to your left and a flawed skeleton to your down.
So are they on either side of me, or like?
One's in front and on the floor. The other one's on the left and standing. Does anybody know if you get advantage on ranged if you're point blank range on a flawed item? I know you do with melee. Don't know if you do with ranged. No, I don't know either.
Does when you're using a ranged weapon in close combat, does it count as a melee weapon, or is it still a ranged weapon?
It's still a ranged weapon. You just don't have the disadvantage. I'm gonna find out real quick.
Because what I might do.
Oh no! It doesn't matter what kind of weapon. It doesn't matter what attack it is. It's as long as you're making an attack within 5 feet. So yeah, you get to make advantage attacks.
Is there any way that I can maneuver myself so I can try and get both skeletons with one crossbow shot?
Not unless you've got a special arrow that shoots through multiple people, or if you've got a spell that does like a line effect, something like that.
No, I don't. I was just hoping that I could do it with flair. Okay, I'll go for the one that's on the floor.
Maybe if you were 20% more experienced than you are, you'd be able to fire 2 shots with your crossbow, but not yet. A little bit more experience with it. Are you getting the one on the floor or the one? No, it's standing up.
Are they both? Do they both have equal? Are they both looking equally damaged?
Neither of them are taking damage, but the one on the floor you'll have advantage on.
I am. Is that going to go again before Jump goes? This is not a theatre of the mind question, is it? That is very much a metagaming question.
It's you, then Jump, then the skeleton.
So what I'm thinking is I might do the standing up skeleton because, I feel like Jump could probably take out the lying down skeleton, but if the other one's there and not at any kind of disadvantage, I can just
go for it. Taking the harder shot. Take the shots.
I just like to shoot things.
Is it more or less patronising than the skeleton job to have the being left the easy one?
I get no advantage because I don't have an attack spell, so.
I'll just shoot the one on the floor then. That's fine.
Go for it then, gangster style. Advantage on the attack.
I was trying to be a good team player.
No, I know.
And do good battle tactics. But look at you stirring the pot. Oh, it's so patronising. Blah 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 blah.
The reason his Jump shouldn't be here, right, up in the face with these baddies with no attack spells. You gonna do the advantage anyway to see whether or not you could do any better?
Go on then.
Since you've got it. See if you can get multiple crits.
No.
Ooh. So what did you get?
Oh,
13 piercing damage.
And what was the hit?
To hit is 19 plus 2, so 21.
21 to hit. 13 piercing damage. Do you want to tell us how you execute this skeleton, gangster style?
Just not even looking, just like...
It's so cold.
It's just done. Like, I'm in this slimy cave.
Done.
Like, I'm in this slimy cave. I've not even found Travis and his hat, which is all I've come back in for, is some sartorial elegance. And, like, everyone's covered in skeletons and goop. And then these guys have rocked up. And then this guy, little patronising bone crew. No, we're done.
And yeah, its skull just shatters as you see the bolt like into the cave floor, and all of its animated joints deanimate and fall to the ground, making a less playful but no less noisy xylophone noise. As Jump, it is your go.
I move far enough away that I'm not going to be immediately attacked.
Cool.
I wanted to look around for Travis because he must have done something to make these appear. Surely.
Do you want to do a perception check?
Yeah, I'm not good at perception.
You can do investigation if you want.
No.
That's worse.
that
Did
would
you
be
get-
negative.
Oh dear.
Looking around, you can see where Travis was. You guys all saw him on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no signs of there's no blood other than the blood that you left there when you bit his hand. You can see a trail of blood going off towards the loot pile, and you hear maybe the clinking of something metal over towards.
That is where I'm going to go then.
Cool.
This is a skeleton. People have skeletons in hand. Surely.
Yeah, and you can make your way over there, and it's probably going to be next turn before you're up at the loot pile, if that makes sense. But
I can do a move action.
Cool. And the next up is the skeleton itself, who is standing and is going to see bask and lament for its two fallen comrades and be like, no, why have you destroyed? No, he's not going to do anything because he's a silly old skeleton, and he's just going to turn towards you, Bask, and swipe at you with his sword, because that's all he knows how to do. For an 8 to hit with disadvantage, didn't make a difference anyway. That's okay.
Hello.
Just swipes towards Bask, getting nothing. As Rusty, you can see Jump kind of maybe skittering off to the side.
I'm basically skipping. Jumping
just
as
having
high
a
as
lovely day
possible
out.
each time.
Through the acid puddles.
Travis, I can smell ya.
It's terrifying.
His little lizard tongue just be like...
Yeah, I can taste ya.
You are in running distance of everyone, basically, because you're Rusty. So you can get back to the skeleton, you can go and join Jump, you can whatever you want to do.
Sorry, I'm not a coward. That was an accident. And he's running back again. And he's gonna come and try and sort of scissor kick the skeleton just as he gets back to melee range.
I love the idea of in the middle of a fight and accidentally finding yourself somewhere else. It'd be so frustrating. Oh god, I've got to get back. Cool. Do your
1 step forward, 30 foot back.
Yeah. Let's see your scissory kick.
Scissory kick. Would that just be a monk unarmed strike?
Unarmed strike, yeah. Unarmed,
I
but
look
many
to see
footed.
what a scissor kick looks like.
21 to hit.
Yeah, and you crack into its ribs with your foot, snap them away. But it's still standing. It's still like
Ooh.
doesn't have any kind of reaction because it's a mindless creature, but it's still standing there, looking as menacingly blank as it's ever done. But you do have other things you can do, I think, right? Monk business.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel that people are judging my my prowess in battle, and don't want me to think I'm a boneless coward. I'm going to do a flurry of blows and maybe try and rearrange a few bones.
Go for it.
Is it 2 attacks, isn't it?
It's 2 attacks, yes. It's 2 more of those bad boys.
That is 22 to hit
Yeah.
Wow.
for 7 damage and an 8 to hit.
An 8. The 8, unfortunately.
He's a bit out of breath after running across the camp.
What parts are you moving where? On this skull?
He was probably trying to attempt to insert his head somewhere, but he only got to the head part.
Let's say you managed to grab the skeleton's head and then put it in the chest, and then you go to grab maybe its arms to put them like where its hips are or something. But when you grab its arms, the rest of it just falls down, defeated, as it falls to the pile in a heap, and you have defeated the deadly Skelly Boy. It's well done.
I was trying to make another Skelly art installation. I'm getting quite good at them.
Found my medium. I'm gonna.
I didn't run away. It was an accident. I didn't run away.
What were you saying, sorry, Bask?
I don't want to waste my arrows on these bony boys. So I'm gonna go and he's just kind of very carefully picking them up and dusting them off, and then putting them back in his quiver.
Cool.
Could you use those ribs as arrows, or will they go around corners, or is that not how it works?
Ooh. And he kind of looks at, is it Rafe who's with us? Raph who's with us?
Raph, yeah. Raph and Captain Sartell, who, by the way, and Miss Flowerpenny, none of whom helped you in that fight. They just stood and watched you deal with these skeletons for them.
I like to think that they set up a little picnic table and just had some tea.
Oh, you see that?
They believe in us. That's okay.
You see that bit where Rusty put the skull in the chest?
We're like the Johnny English of fighting teams.
Yeah.
We get the job done, but
so whilst Bask considers the concept of turning bones into arrows, and Rusty, together with Mrs. Flowerpenny and what's the guy's name? Sartell. No, the guy.
Raph and Dean.
Raph. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my god, I completely forgot Raph's name.
Wow.
As Mr. Flowerpenny and Raph and Captain Sartell, together with Rusty and Bask, gather themselves. Jump! You find yourselves in
All of myself.
all of yourselves in amongst the remaining horde of the.
Oh my word!
What's the creature called? Caustice's
A
lair.
dragon.
Yeah. And as you are walking about shouting for your prey, you find Travis, and he is hiding atop a kind of pile of like a crooked pile of jam in this little divot. You can see him with his hat under his arm, and he's just sliding gold into his hat. Hello. And he quickly takes his hat and puts it back on his head. And,
Yeah.
begins to slowly make his way down and stops part way and realizing it's you. Like, you're gonna bite me again, are you?
Oh, I might do. Where are you going?
I'm coming down to see you. You've got the rescuers, right?
I don't know. I'm in 2 minds whether we should just do away with you now.
What? No.
Oh, yeah. I mean, why would I keep you alive? There's no one else to see. It's just you and me.
Oh, you wouldn't, old Travis. You're on his lonesome.
You tasted quite nice.
And he takes one step back up the treasure pile, like back to maybe his den, and looks out. Hello, anybody else here with this one?
No, it's just you and me.
No.
No, I'm not here either.
Oh, thank the gods. I knew you guys wouldn't leave me here on my lonesome. Thanks for smashing them bony boys, by the way. Did Caustice get away then?
Did you summon them? Were that your skeletons? Where did they come from?
Oh no, they're one of Caustice's little defense thingies. I must have tripped them when I was looking for
When you were looting treasure?
a way off the yeah.
How's your hat staying on with all the gold under it? Because I put a grit skull on my head and it had a tongue inside it, and it didn't stay on my head like your hat is staying on your head.
Ah, there's no gold in my hat. Kind of like just tilts it slightly a little bit. But yeah, did Caustice get away then, off to bother some other enterprising and entirely innocent and unblameable young fella?
No, she coming back. We blamed it all on you.
What? I
So
didn't do
your
nothing.
number's up, mate. So I don't know. Your time's not long for world. I mean, what you got? Anything you want to tell me? Do I have to tell your crew that your last thoughts were of them?
No, my
No.
last thoughts are of me. Why are you doing me in?
Because, well, you're not a very nice person.
well, I hired you 3, didn't I?
No, you never hired us. We lied to you, you see, right from start.
I've got you in my books as you said you'd tattle on that one there, and you see Captain Sartell like in the background, like leaning on some treasure, just like looking very unimpressed.
No, we got your books. We found them.
Oh,
Didn't read them, mine, because they were right boring. You know, in that room with the trap, the acid trap on door.
Oh yeah, that was her idea. She said, "Got to
It
protect
was
my
her
stuff."
Caustice.
Yeah, she gave me the Skelly boys. She gave me some little defences for the room. I mean, she did help me.
I found
a
them.
little
I
bit.
found the defences. Right, good they were.
I mean, I guess she knew what she was about.
So why are you stitching up Scrumberry then? Why are you working with a dragon of all things? I mean, sure, a beautiful critter. No issues there. But why? Why? I mean, there's your humankind there, and you know,
Oh, no,
you stitch them all up.
It's not like that. You see, I came here first time to look for the lost treasure, the boat that was meant to be here. Because I've got ideas, right? I've got plans, and I just needed a
What's
bit of.
this lost treasure? What boat is meant to be here? Because we crashed our boat. The
There was
Princess Donut. We didn't have her long.
there were tales of a heavily laden treasure boat that was meant to have crashed at Grick Hollow long ago. I've forgotten the name of it. It was in a much earlier session, but there was a boat that was meant to have crashed here.
Oh,
a good
let me look through my notes, see if I've written that down.
But yeah, that boat that was supposed to have crashed here, I thought, you know, if I sneak past whatever a Grick might be, I'll be loaded. But then I found her. From what I was able to piece together, it looked like she was just starting out, you know. This was her very first hoard. All she talked about was expanding it, and she wanted me to go get some magic items for her. So I got all I could. In exchange, she gave me some of her hoard. Can you imagine it, getting gold from a dragon for me?
But you know that room hidden behind bookcase in your lair, your hideout, your gang headquarters?
You found the stash?
Yeah, they were all like yellow painted junk.
What? No, that was the good stuff. That's what she gave me.
No. Oh no, you fool! She's had you. She's like pulled wool over your own eyes.
Oh,
Oh, Travis, you're such a twat. Travis, it's an underground word for a silly billy. You might not have heard it before. Sorry.
That's going on today's quote list.
Travis, you're such a twat.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. She wasn't really that impressed with what I brought her. We're not exactly overrun with magical doodads in Scrumberry, eh? But so I brought her some jam to kind of like tide her by whilst I went looking for some more magical what's-its and whatnot. And you should have seen her. She couldn't get enough of the stuff. Damn near bit my head off to get more. And I mean that literally.
It's because you taste quite fruity yourself.
And he'll take another like clamber up the hill away from you and adjust his hat again. As you can see, he kind of like looks. He points to all the jam around. I got as much jam as I could, and boy, did she pay up! You should see the stash I've got together. Anyway,
in the secret headquarters, which is all painted yellow, even your rug is yellow, and it's all moth bitten and full of poo in the middle of it. It's like you rolled it up from a farmer's field. It's just.
And he'll, yeah, the stuff in the stash.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Anyway, I think the whole thing might have messed her head up a bit though. You see, she couldn't get enough of the gem, scoffing it down one minute and like, tasting it drop by a drop the next, but eating it, well, it meant making her hoard smaller. So she just wanted more and more and wanted a bigger and bigger hoard. But then she wanted to eat more and more as well. And I mean, well, you saw her; she wasn't exactly all together.
It would drive me mad.
I did all I could to get the jam here to her, and well, here we are.
Why? Sorry, I'm doing all talking. Didn't you want his hat?
What?
Yeah, we want your hat. We think that's good luck.
You can't have my hat.
Give us your hat, else I'm gonna kill you.
Do you want to do an intimidation check, Job? I'm gonna say advantage because you've recently bitten him, which is not attacked him, bitten him.
I tried to rip his hand off.
I feel like basking. I'm feeling pretty intimidated right now.
Yeah, me too. We're going to stay here, or we're going to go and interject, or.
Guess what? The update has removed my advantage button.
Oh, really?
How weird, yeah.
Just roll it twice.
I'll just roll it twice then. Yeah, it's normally there. Okay.
No advantage for you.
No. Oh, so I've added it again. Advantage. 20. Didn't need no advantage.
How's Rusty and Bask feeling about this Jump's sudden turn?
I think Rusty's wondering how long Misty Step takes to recharge. He's not a cat.
And as you say that, he'll quickly take the hat off, and then but he'll hesitate in handing it over and look to both you, Rusty, and you, Bask, and be like, "Are you really going to let her kill me if I don't give you this? It's my favourite hat. I really don't want to lose it."
Oh, well, yeah. I think I'll just do it.
All right, I'll give you this, and you don't kill me. Yeah, we agreed.
Yeah, Bask, do you want my sentimental backpack while you're at it?
No, I don't think the backpack would
jump.
Sentimental. Is that with your colony? Oh no, we gave the mushrooms, didn't we? Because that scared me as well.
Yeah.
My backpack with my sentimental backpack in. Just
Oh,
don't bite
that
me.
one.
Okay, just...
No, I don't want to bite you. I just want to bite him.
All right. If we agreed, right? I'm safe. And your captain friend did that, and the baker. Hello, and she just like scowls at him, and we'll reach out, trying to not leave the horde pile as much as you can to pass you the hat mask.
I will accept this as thanks for not immediately killing you on sight. You are welcome.
Has he got a pile of gold coins, or is it?
No, there's nothing on his head.
So Bask's gonna put the hat on and then go over to an acid puddle and just sort of like start admiring his reflection. Does he look good in the hat? I feel like he does.
You will notice, Bask, as you put the hat on as well. There's no gold in the hat either. The gold that Jump saw getting shoveled. Yeah, Bask's looking pretty dashing with the hat on, right?
Are you dapper?
Dapper, that's the word. That's the word.
The dapper
He's a dapper chap.
I love it.
Just don't. I mean, for the love of God, don't drop it in that acid, please. And yeah,
Why?
just wear it on. You don't have to worry about anything. Just wear it on your head and nice and.
Is it a magic hat?
Oh, there's no such thing as magic hats,
Take
right?
it up. Bass takes it off his head and starts to like jiggle it and like move it round.
As soon as you begin to jiggle it, you feel the hat rumbling and shaking in your hands, as suddenly pouring out of it like a waterfall are hundreds and hundreds of gold coins.
Is it a magic hat?
Is it a hat of holding?
It is a hat of holding.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I've got a physics question. If you put a hat of holding on your head, does the top of your head?
The portal is at the very back of the inside of the hat. I don't know if that part of a hat has a name. It probably does, but I don't know it. And anything that goes completely through is taken into this hat holding space. As for a good long while, Sartell and Miss Flowerpenny kind of watch, amused as this small mountain of coins begins to pile underneath Bask, and you see Peaches just being like, oh no, not all of it, come on.
I am.
Go on, sorry.
I will accept this gold as payment for not immediately killing you when you lied to us about the power of this hat. Is there anything else that you would like to disclose at this moment?
No, I just how about this? I won't say anything about the gold that you're taking. Oh my god! If you give me a lift back to Scrumberry, alive, yeah.
And he'll sort of look at Bask will look at Captain Sartell and look at the other Dodgers.
What do you reckon, Dodgers? And you can see Miss Flowerpenny being like.
Can Rusty see if he's got pockets of holding as well? Just
you can fleece him, and unfortunately, he has nothing else on him. All of his stash that he was talking about was unfortunately in his hat of holding. Altogether, when the coins like slowly begin to run dry, you realise there are where was it? Yeah, 1,800 gold coins altogether.
Wow.
Good grief.
And how much do we know what the monetary value of Scrumberry jam would be worth? That's also in the hoard.
The jam here. Are you guys going to spend some time looking around the hoard and getting kind of grips with it?
I'm gonna first go over to Peaches, to Travis. Why did you do all this? I mean, did you not have enough money and power back in Scrumberry?
Well, I didn't have much back in Scrumberry. I was.
But you had the respect of your people. You know, doesn't that mean anything to you?
Yeah, but I thought, I can. If we were to get some capital, we'll be able to make big plans. I want to turn Scrumberry into. Imagine if we're getting jam out there like 50 bottles a day. It would be.
That sounds
amazing.
amazing. But why couldn't you work with the current establishment? You know that mayor you've got? She's a right wet blanket. She's like neither use nor ornament. Not wet enough to put a fire out, not dry enough to sleep under. I wouldn't want to sleep under her. Why didn't you like be her advisor? Be like, oh, I've got these grand plans and this is how I'm gonna do it. Why don't you work with Miss Flowerpenny, who's got like the smartest head I've ever seen?
Well, no one's going to listen to a geezer like me, are they? I'm just, I managed to get, big boys to follow me plans, and that's all I've been able to do.
Now you got to get smart people to follow your plans, because they know that the big boys will follow you. You've got the muscle to do these plans that are in your... You're such a twat. Why don't you think about it? Now give me your hand. I bit it to scare you, and now I'm going to heal it, because it must be hurting.
He's. I mean, you've got some pretty big teeth in there, I've got to say.
I know,
I'd like
I got loads of teeth.
I like to think that Kurt and Ernie just died a little bit inside when John said about getting smarter people.
Poor Kurt and Ernie.
And Travis will turn to you, Rusty, whilst John's healing, and be like, "Is that a kobold word? I don't know that word."
What's that?
Oh,
You keep saying I'm something, or yeah.
twat. Oh, it is a kobold world. It's a kobold world for a silly Billy who don't know a good thing when it slaps him in the face with a wet fish. Quite a complicated thought.
We're from the same region, isn't it? So if I ain't heard it, then you ain't heard it, have you? You know.
That's fair enough, I suppose. And whilst his hand is restoring back, thanks to Jump's healing magic, you see Miss Flowerpenny kind of like looking in some of the hoard, and there are hundreds of these, but it mostly consists of like these piles of jars, kegs, and crates of Scrumberry jam jars. But amongst them, kind of the cracked and recently stepped on and some part of it burned sections of the hoard.
I don't know about that happened. On me.
There are many ornate items and unusual looking trinkets kind of dripped with jam. There are beautiful things like objects like lamps and frames, candlesticks, not too unsimilar from the ones that you saw in the lockup in the Bad Batch warehouse. And you also see a number of unusually ordinary looking things dotted about. And you see Raph and Miss Flowerpenny kind of looking at them and recognizing them. Miss Flowerpenny picks up a stick, looks like a walking stick from the pile. That's Mrs. Oban's cane, one with a little magical claw on it, isn't it? And then Raph will point and pick up a small kite and be like, "This is little Trilly's kite, the one she flies on the docks even when there's no wind." And
my god!
Is that the mayor's star compass that they were looking for? Travis, why exactly are the town's items here in this dragon's hoard in Grick Hollow? Well, I said I needed to get some magical items, and maybe we could just say, it's all here, all the gems here, all the magical doodads are here. I'll just kind of loaned them a bit, eh? No harm done.
You stole a child's toy. How does that make you feel?
That's just going to be like, "Oh, Travis, you are such a twat."
Have you got any self-esteem?
I needed magical items to stop the dragon from eating me. Like.
Travis, you've sunk so low, man.
He needs a punch in the face. Come on.
He looks like he has been punched in the face as you guys are revealing to him how terrible decisions he's made.
He stole a kite from a child and a cane from an old lady. Like,
how many sweets have you taken from babies? Were they sucking on it while you went into their mouth and yanked out their candy?
Oh, well, there's a few bits that weren't belonging to people of the town. These bits that I've picked up, maybe if you want to.
That don't make it all right, does it?
No, I suppose not. And you see Miss Flowerpenny sees the spoon that was thing, and she'll go, I've been looking for this everywhere.
Oh, Miss Flowerpenny spoon. Do you have a death wish, man?
I had this in the shop before we were broken into. I was looking for it for you, Jump. And she presents to you the spoon that you saw Travis holding earlier on. And
This is your favourite spoon.
No, this is a different one. My favourite spoon. That's back in I keep that somewhere very, very safe. You'll never see that. This is the greasy spoon, and passes it to you. And it is it is actually a wand that he did pick up. He would have been able to fire the wand had his hand not been chomped by a Jump.
Thank heaven! I was like, I've just bitten a guy because he was holding a spoon.
And it can cast grease, which is why it's called the greasy spoon. And it's got 5 charges and gets 1d4 plus 1 every day.
I shall treasure this greasy spoon along with the octo whisk.
Maybe as you're looking around, Raph will point out to you, Bask. There are several of these on the ground from when you guys managed to hit the big scary monster. Would these be useful to you, Bask? And he presents you with a handful of dragon scales, small dragon scales. And I might be able to, if you've got the time, make these into like arrowheads for you if you wanted to use them for anything.
Wow.
I would like that very much.
Do you want to do a survival check to find out how many of these you can find?
Survival. 11.
Yeah, so you get 11 dragon scale
Wow.
arrow or bolt tips, and they do the normal bolt damage, but do an additional 2d4 acid damage as well.
Ooh.
But they are each one and done, so there's no recovering them as dragon tip arrows, if that makes sense.
In my head, they're like slightly iridescent. Like,
yes, like got the
oil slick green
sheen to them. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, whilst everyone else is looking through the large piles of jam, as well as the like kind of regular looking items and the rather ornate items, you work out there's probably altogether, maybe with Captain Sartell as well, assessing about 10 tons of jam here.
10 tons.
Which is enough to basically fill the cargo hold of the Moon Dancer.
Wow. How long have you been nicking stuff from the town?
Well, not all of it's been from. It's been a while, I suppose. I had a bit of a supply. I was planning on doing some other stuff with, but yeah, and then the plans changed and it all came here.
You know, you should really do a legitimate jam harvesting operation. Because, you know, you were good at it. Look at all this.
Yes. Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah, I could do something like that. I'd get people to work for me and yeah, maybe start small, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Your gang right misses you.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Did we kill any of them?
No, you have seen several of them die, but that wasn't at your hand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember now. Some we didn't see die, we just heard die. Oh,
Whilst
wow.
you...
Yeah, she's no more.
Oh, not Val.
Yeah.
Wait, which one was Val again?
Don't know, we just heard her screams as she went to the next great adventure.
And that's
Was that-
The next great adventure.
What was that? Sorry,
Sorry.
Rusty.
I thought that was Ernie's mum. Okay, well confused now.
Oh, no, she was just Mrs. Ernie, weren't she?
Something like that, yeah. Val was one of the ones who was taken by the stalk spiders in the hay.
And Barry is no more.
Oh, not
Rawley.
bad.
Yeah, Rawley. Oh, he was alive, but then he's not anymore. Pearson, he's no more. Yeah, they were all taken by massive spiders.
This is something you're saying I should get into as a regular business.
It's a good thing that you are starting small.
Well, you're certainly starting smaller than you were.
Well, I guess so.
You need to train them against them stalk spiders. They were right massive, they were.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about people and contracts, but I'm fairly sure that human resources is meant to save people, not get rid of them.
Oh, and you've got a great opportunity. Humans and resources. And I think the fields were a bit burned, so it's a great opportunity to start again with a new batch.
Maybe I'll start a new batch rather than the bad batch. As you are walking around, Rusty, you get your eye caught by
Imagine getting your eye caught.
It's caught unpleasantly on a
hook,
on a conch. A rather sturdy kind of plain-looking conch with the symbol that you will recognise of Sabal, painted beautifully on the side of it.
Oh, well, you don't see that every day, do you? Well, I assume he says to himself if he's walking.
Sabal being the deity that Rusty accidentally was baptized into their.
It's when you fell through the roof, right?
Yeah.
You know, this looks vaguely familiar. Hang on. It's going to taste it and maybe blow on it. And
as you pick it up, a huge wave of salty seawater kind of washes across you, hitting you like a wall and swirling you full-bodied into the depths of the water. And moments later, you find yourself washed up on a sandy beach underneath a beautiful starry night sky. Before you, standing on the beach, is a towering figure of a man wearing long, flowing dark robes, facing away from you. Along the back of his head, several long, running kind of chitinous tails draping from the back of its head. As you stand there and maybe get out of the water and stand on the beach, it dramatically turns around in place to face you, and you can see his head not of a person, but is the form of a horseshoe crab with two huge glowing orange eyes on either side of its kind of like flat curved surface. And it speaks to you and says, "I am Sabal the Unchanging. Who calls upon the stoic god of endurance?" Oh, it's you again. Oh.
Hi.
Have I not helped you enough already with the seaweed today? Come on.
Oh. Well, yeah, but I'm having a bit of a bad day, you know. First of all, I've had bone in my mouth, and then I had salt in my mouth, and then I had sand in my mouth. I just wondered if you could do something about that. You know, I don't really like the taste. You know, gods to grant wishes, don't they, and things like that. You know.
Listen, I already sorted out when you were falling off the dragon. I gave your friend Spell a tweak so that you didn't die. But I mean, I'm not here on your beck and call. Listen, look, you're doing good work and all, and I do appreciate it, but I'm not sure you're getting the whole vibe here, Rusty. Jumping on dragons, sprinting through beehives, running through burning fields. My worshippers, they call me the Unchanging. I'm all about the strength that comes from grounding yourself, being in one place, an unmoving island in a sea of turmoil. And you, well, you move about so much.
Well, I thought you were being ironic, didn't you? I thought, I'm not God of unchanging. You know, it's like Barry the Nail, isn't it? He never uses nails. You know, am I meant to know? You know, you're a god. You know everything. You know, well, I don't know then.
Look,
So you don't want things changed?
no, it's all about being. I'm sure the monks told you about this. When keep the shell, okay? Maybe it will help you. If you blow the shell and stay still, it'll give you strength. And
But Rusty's just trying to like pull it open and breaks it off.
oh, for the love of me, no.
Was that a change? I mean, I could go back on.
Look, I'm going to see. Maybe I can move things around with somebody or something. But just try to not get into too much trouble that needs my help for just a couple of days, please.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't realise you were paying that much attention to me. You know.
It's really hard not to, Rusty.
Did you get a little bell that goes off every time something changes? Just out of.
I wish it was as subtle as a bell.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, mate. Good. Cool. Yeah.
Right, I need to go now.
Yeah, that was last week. Yeah.
you.
So, is there anything you want done differently then?
Just try to listen to the tenants. You know, staying still, being strength and unchanging and being in one place. All that kind of stuff is really what I'm all about.
Bear with me here. Surely by me doing something different is changing, and you're the god of unchanging.
It's changing to be in line with me, God. It's a good change. It's not a.
I don't mean to be funny,
change
mate,
and
but
stay.
You might want to you might want to hammer that one out a bit, you know. It's a bit like being passive aggressive, isn't it? You can't really do both.
I know I'm the god of staying in one place, but I do need to go. Just to be somewhere else. Thank you, Rusty. Enjoy the shell, and yes, hopefully we'll see. Well, yes, bye. And a wave kind of rushes up the beach and washes over you, and washes back out, kind of like as you find yourself back in the cave and somehow dripping with water, and you have this shell in your hand. And it is
another
mouthful of water.
Some things never change.
And it is the shell of Sabal, and it is marked with the sign of your deity, which you accidentally were baptized in their power. And once per day, as an action, you can blow into the conch as a horn and give up to 5 creatures, including yourself, who hear it, +1 to their AC for 1 minute, as long as they do not move. As in movement speed move, not like stay perfectly still. You can still do stuff as well.
Well, this is only helpful in a mine situation, isn't it?
For those situations where you're in a fight but don't want to do anything for no reason at all.
You know, funny enough, I got into a fight with some mimes. But
yeah, as long as you basically you blow the horn once a day, and as long as you don't move any movement speed, yeah, everyone gets +1 AC until they move, or until and that's a little gift from the god.
That's cool.
Russ be like, thank you.
And like you just hear a sigh coming down the cottage. So
I'm really glad they banned smiting.
With that, Travis will kind of pick up a jar or two. So do you want me to help you move these onto your boat, or? And he'll give you a big smile, trying to his best to be.
Himself.
Yeah.
Let's let's get these packed up then. What's going to happen to all that? Is there all the gold? Imagine what you can do for the town with all that. Gosh.
So it takes some time, but all of you together can work for maybe takes make best part of a day to load up all of the fancy gold ornate items, all of the crates and jars of gem, and all of the kind of odds and ends items back onto the Moon Dancer, where Demi and Flapjack will be waiting there for you. And yeah, you guys can have a nice rest of an evening before setting sail in the morning to head back to Scrumberry.
Is that a long rest?
It is a long rest, yeah. You guys can have a nice long rest before of an evening. Anything you guys are doing or chatting about or talking to anybody whilst you are having your rest of an evening or before you begin sailing back towards Scrumberry?
I mean, I feel like we need to tie Travis up.
Oh,
Important
on
question.
a ship. What can he do? Got some rope.
Yes. There's Travis on the boat.
Why don't we just put him in the crow's nest?
No.
I'm a little bit worried about heights.
Yeah, but it don't really matter, does it? I feel sorry for Travis now.
But yeah, so are you tying Travis up? No? You letting him go free?
No, I would tie him up like he is a criminal. I'm going to stress. I think that we need to tie him up because he cannot be trusted and he will just steal things. And if he decides that he wants to steal his hat back, then I would be very, very sad.
That's a very good point. What if he's turned over a new leaf, you know? What if it takes the offer of trust to get that trust back?
But just so we're clear, is that changing or unchanging? I'm asking for a friend.
And Travis will stand there with a big smile on his face next to you three having this discussion.
Here you go. Here's some rope. Don't like the smile on his face.
Walk. Usually gets me away with it. Never mind.
No, I was right suspicious when you did that smile. It's like when I smile at people, they suddenly look scared. So I don't do it anymore.
Are you,
Smile at him.
Jump, show me. Good. Jump.
What?
Show me smile.
This smile, I'll show my smile.
oh, I remember them
See?
teeth. I remember them teeth now.
My teeth remember you as well.
I'm gonna head up to that crow's nest and tie myself up. All right.
Good lad. Just don't change anything.
Captain Sartell will bring the ship about and begin sailing back towards Scrumberry come the morning.
Oh. When Rusty picked up the conch shell, did we see him sucked in with a big wave?
No, he just suddenly seemed damp.
Okay. Oh, it was that good of a conch shell.
Yeah.
It's none of my business.
Again, Bask is going nowhere near the conch shell. Like, the list of things that Bask is going nowhere near is just growing, like, longer and longer. And starting to develop into some sort of obsessive-compulsive disorder. It's getting close.
Adorable. Oh, wow.
The crew of the not the cruise man, the passengers of the Moon Dancer, Demi and Raph will be going through various items of the kind of like the ornate items and trying to assign them to ones that they recognise, people they know, and collect them together. Yeah, Captain Sartell will be captaining the ship, and maybe we'll come to one of you guys and be like, it's not really the captain's job to steer the ship. I usually tell somebody else steer the ship. Any of you three want to give it a go?
That was a convoluted sentence. What did it mean?
Well, the thing is, at the moment, I'm the one driving the ship, and it's not really what captains are supposed to do, you know. So it'd be great if there was somebody that I could say, "Hey, you, drive the ship." So if one of you want to have a go, you can have a go. If not, I'll see if Miss Flowerpenny wants to go.
I'd love to drive a ship. You got a box I can stand on?
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, probably, maybe.
I don't mind if someone else wants to go because don't know. Quite like to see someone else piloting the ship.
If we can't find a box, I can just lift Jump up.
So as Bask holds the Jump up and Jump, you grab onto the wheel of the Moon Dancer. As soon as your hands touch the wheel, you feel almost like that feeling like, has anybody done those tests where you got to hold on to something as long as you can that's electrified? You know, that kind of like,
I think
it's more vibration than electric.
Yeah.
That kind of feeling as you grab onto it. And you can feel like magic staticking from your fingers. And
a little bit pokey.
For just a moment, you see kind of just stars, planets, the entire horizon kind of wheels past your eyes for like the briefest
entire
seconds.
Horizon.
Back far beyond Jump ever imagined existed. Kind of whooshes past and then whooshes back again. And yeah, you find yourself at the wheel. And it seems to be steering very intuitively to your controls.
Oh my gosh. This is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. I saw all of eternity for a minute. All of it. Inside and outside of it. I was eternity. Oh, does this happen every time you touch this big wheel thingy?
Oh, you'll get used to it.
How can you get used to the best feeling in the world?
And Basket, maybe your fur will have got an end if you're holding Jump as they did that.
Those pupils are like massive.
Yeah, maybe this wasn't the best idea.
Pascal kind of feel like holding Jump like this and sort of catch his eye and be like,
Oh, hey, do you want to give it a go? It almost feels like you're piloting a universe. Like bigger than a universe. Like bigger than anything you've ever thought of in your life. Give it a go.
and Bask's kind of, to this point, like Bask's biggest dream has been acquiring this hat. So he'll be like, Rusty, after you.
Just adjusting the hat on the head.
Sorry, what do you want me to do? I was thinking, deep thought. I missed that.
Touch the wheel. Drive the boat. Pilot it. Feel eternity.
Judging by the state of you two, I'm not entirely sure I want to.
She's beautiful. She's like everything I've ever wanted. She's like home. She's like the future. She's like everything that I could ever want to become in my life.
Well, I'm fairly sure I shouted crossbow as I got on the ship, so I don't get to drive.
Well, as the three of you are around the wheel, and John tries to convince Bask and Rusty to have a go at touching the sparkly wheel.
Touching the universe.
Yes.
Captain Sartell just kind of like stands off, like chuckling, kind of watching you guys. The camera pulls out from the boat as we see it heading towards home, towards Scrumberry, and
Oh,
back.
Peaches in the in the birds.
You see Peaches struggling to tie himself up with his rope, mumbling to himself, annoyed. And as the camera pulls out to the sky, and we see the tiny moon dancer. Anyway, you can see that there is some hubbub in Scrumberry. There are people out and about on the streets. We will find out what that is about next time. There we go. Thank you very much for playing, guys. You have rescued the large quantity of loot from from the lair of Caustice.
Return the goods to the good people of Scrumberry.
Oh, is that you guys not just going to sail off and keep it all, pocket it all?
Why not Travis? We're not twats, Jay.
new favourite phrase of the campaign.
You know, I'm going to spend a week trying to think of an acronym for
To the middle of work. Twat! I've worked it out. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us. And welcome back after it's been a bit of a hiatus, so it's nice to have the Jammy Dodgers back together. You guys all feeling okay after returning back to the dice rolling?
Oh yeah, that was good.
I've missed Jump, Rusty, and Basket very much, so glad to see them back in the wilds again.
I'm glad we met Travis again. I kind of felt sorry for nibbling on him.
Well, you put that right. And then you threatened to kill him. So.
It were only a threat.
He stole a walking stick from an old lady and a kite from a little child.
He did. He was just
not a good guy.
No.
He's trying his best, but he's not. But yes, as he ties himself up in knots in the crow's nest of the Moon's Dancer, Jump sails the boat around the coast of Scrumberry. We will return next week with more adventures and finding out what's going on in Scrumberry itself. In the meantime, I have been JStation64. Thank you very much for joining us in our return to the Secrets of Scrumberry. That's what it's called. There we go, from Jammy Dodgers. And I can be found on the internet. I can be found on Sunday mornings at 9:30 playing some retro games, playing Jet Force Gemini, which is very nice. Still feel the relief from not playing Body Harvest by playing Jet Force Gemini. It still feels like, oh, this is a nice game to play. Feel the actual genuine relief of it. And I have been joined by Bask. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, I've been Ghost of Sunny, and you might be able to find us back this weekend completing the next live episode of Vaesen.
Oh yeah, we started an episode, didn't we? Then we
Yep.
had to pause it for life things, and then
For travel reasons.
travel
It's
reasons. We can return
So,
to it.
tune in.
Thank you for joining us. We've also had with us the astounding Rusty.
Hello, I'm RevTed / Revivify. I used to make videos about computers on the internet. I've collected several projects actually recently,
Cool.
but they're all just sitting over there. So.
It's difficult, especially if you've started something new, to find where that time comes in. But you can work around it if you're able to. It's one of those. Hopefully, we'll get to see some more nice chilled out computer videos from Revivify.
Yeah, I mean, I say so I've started a new job, and this is probably the latest I've been up in 3 weeks.
Thank you for staying up. Thank you to all of the players as well for having a late evening this Thursday. Everyone's tired from work, but I'm always very grateful that we get together and play this silly, adorable game.
Yes.
And last but not least, we have also been joined by Jump.
Hello there. What a fun time we've all had. I do enjoy playing Jump. She's delightfully adorable, but really good at intimidating. You can't find me on the internet, I refuse. be seeing you next week.
And we will all see you next week. I hope you all have a wonderful week. And thank you once again for joining us. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.